Gently. Keep silent.
And move on as the second IP of the creators of I Expect You to Die VR and Among Us VR. We've got over here a brand new title today called Silent Slayer, Volto the Vampire. This game is coming to Quest 2 and Quest Pro later on in the year. This game is described as a suspenseful single-player jump scare style that tasks you with killing sleeping vampires before they wake up. It's a weird pitch, but it actually works if you see. The trailer here is what we got alongside the news as well. Coming up behind that from the same studio who previously worked on Little Witch Academia VR, we've got over here Attack on Titan VR Unbreakable, which was announced actually last summer as a VR adaptation of the manga and apparently releasing in winter this year for Meta Quest 2 Pro and also Meta Quest 3. It's a single player and co-op multiplayer hunting action game, kind of in the same, a little bit style of Monster Hunter World.
He must not be stopped.
Probably the biggest game announced out of yesterday's MetaQuest showcase. Number 3 we have Asgards Wrath 2, sequel to a 4-year-old action RPG and honestly one of the heavy hitters of its release year. Asgards Wrath 2 is promised to have massive worlds beyond the scope of any other game on the MetaQuest platforms, taking place mostly in Egypt, releasing in the final quarter of 2023 on MetaQuest 2.
Your reality is my guardian.
Exact your vengeance.
And unleash your wrath.
Vertigo Games just announced another hit called The Seventh Guest VR. Well, first of all, I didn't know this myself, but apparently this is a reimagining of a 1993 interactive movie puzzle adventure game. I mean, that is technically how the game is tagged, and now made fully from the ground up in VR. It's said to be coming out for Quest 2, 3, probably other headsets as well, by the end of the year. Take a look. After 7 years of wait, Arizona Sunshine is now finally coming back for the PC and the PSVR 2 by the end of the year. Guys, Arizona Sunshine 2 promised to get us back to the zombie apocalypse of Christmas 2023, and the story picks up exactly where it was left off in its prequel. You get a dog now, with the addition of machetes, shotguns, flamethrowers, and sniper rifles. I mean, it's emphasized on that, and a good variety of them as well. Check it out in case you missed it.
Oh yeah, that's gonna do. Watch and learn. What the? Get a room. You know that only counts as one.
Welcome to my arena of hellfire. In here, no one plays nuns. Two sides enter, but only one side can survive.
Coming up behind that, we have a game called Demio Battles. Guys, Demio Battles is a competitive turn-based strategy 1 to 4 player, of course, multiplayer. Let's take a look. This game was revealed yesterday, showcasing just the PvP aspect of it, the characters, and some more stuff. This game is coming out in 2023. We're still anticipating a precise release date, and this is how it looks.
Yo, this city ain't never gonna let two base boys like us in. Nah, this the jungle out here, bruv. If we wanna get into New Braca, we're gonna have to fight like f***ing animals.
Coming from the same studio behind the VR sport game Racket NX, we've got here Underdogs. This is a science fiction physics-based robot fighting game with roguelike components in VR, which if that doesn't sound exciting, I don't know what is. Anyway, Underdog over here is slated to hit the Quest store early next year, or at its worst case scenario, late 2023.
I want to some of them, they think of some joke thing. Nah, sir. Watch out. Man, don't get fucked up, man, don't get paused. Man, don't get passed up, man, don't get paused. Man, don't get messed up, man, don't get paused. Man, don't get pressed, man, don't get paused.
Rick! You're in the wreck! Get up, man! The bubble's critical! Your arm's broken clean off! Ricardo! They're coming in for the kill! Get up and fight!
Man get shook, in my face, then boy can't look. Then we get fried up, then we get cooked.
Guys, Incuva on the other hand, went on and finally announced development of Bulletstorm VR for MetaQuest VR headsets and the PlayStation VR 2. Now, you'll probably know this, but just in case you don't, Bulletstorm came out 12 years ago as one of the most innovative first-person shooters on the gaming industry. This game is now made in VR with improved textures and additional content, probably the dopest trailer you're gonna see today, especially if you play the first one. Check it out, game's releasing later this year. Moving on, we have Stranger Things VR. This is a psychological horror game based upon the TV series and coming from the same developers of The Under VR, in which here you experience the world of Stranger Things from a never before seen perspective of a new character plotting a revenge against the hive mind, which I don't even know what that even means, introduced in the series. Anyway, take a look. This game's set to be coming out to Quest 2 and Quest Pro around fall this year and other major VR platforms later.
Story of the Ghostbusters. Well, you don't know my story. 1984. My research brought me to Columbia University, where I studied under the Ghostbusters. They dismissed my work, called it dangerous. But in San Francisco, I can show them, with its untapped cauldron of the undead. Where others saw fear, I saw subjects. How could I know my research would stir a dormant evil? The Ghost Lord.
Ghostbusters Rise of the Ghost Lord is now coming around fall this year, and we just got its story trailer yesterday. We know this game is releasing on Meta Quest 2, Quest Pro and the PlayStation VR 2 as well. The new game, made in VR, follows the story of a new group of Ghostbusters who must defeat the Ghost Lord. It also then dates back to the original Ghostbusters movie, mostly.
I have harnessed. You will realize that I, Gustav Hookfather, am the genius who gave the world endless clean energy. The Ghost Lord is coming.
What have I brought upon the world? The time of the Ghost Lord is here.
Venice, Italy. Felt like I was back on square one.
During MetaQuest's showcase yesterday, we came across a brand new VR game in the World of Darkness universe called Vampire the Masquerade Justice. Was described or labeled as by the developers as an adventure RPG, of course single player, where you play the role of a vampire who must decide both good and evil. Like, just take, you'll see in a second what I mean. This game is releasing on Oculus 2 and 3 for the price of $30 by the end of the year, actually in the final quarter of 2023.
You'd do well to remember that. Because if you don't, I'll make things very uncomfortable for you.